What's up guys, Ranger here, and I'm back with another reaction and commentary video. I've been wanting to get these out a whole lot quicker. I've really been wanting to get to these episodes, and a friend of mine was like, dude, you gotta check out these episodes because some of your favorite background characters makes cameos in this, so you have to check them out. And I'm like, I must do that. And also, I know people have been really wanting me to do the Mickey cartoons as well, and I've been really looking forward to those as well. There's a lot of things that I want to do, so without further ado, let's get on with it. Enough with me jabbering. Let's go with this. Yeah, the heck! Okay, I apologize for that. My camera decided it was going to commit suicide. My camera decided it was going to just go, whoop, I'm gone! And commit suicide, so now without further ado, let's get on with this. This is season 6 episode 7 of MLP, Newbie Dash. And a friend of mine told me that Spitfire was in this episode, and so I made a mention in the last episode that I really wanted to see, I was hoping that Spitfire would come back. So without further ado, let me check my volume. Let's get on with the episode. Starting the video in 3, 2, 1, click. Play! So video on 3, 2, 1, click. Aw, Dashie.
Hi, Scootaloo. What's up? The Rainbow Dash fan club just decided everybody's coming to see you when the Wonderbolts' new tour comes through Ponyville. Well, it's great that you guys are going to the show, Scoots, but I won't actually be performing in it. Reservists aren't in the show unless one of the real Wonderbolts can't fly. I'll probably be working crowd control or something. You're still gonna be wearing a Wonderbolts uniform, though, right? A reservist one, yeah. That's good enough for me.
Wonderbolts. Spitfire.
Whoa! Rainbow Dash, glad we found you. We need you in the show when we get to Ponyville. Flying. But she's only in the reserves. Not anymore, kid. You mean? Rainbow Dash, you're finally a full-fledged Wonderbolt! Woohoo! Yeah, Rainbow Dash!
Oh.
What she said.
That face. Okay. Okay. I have to say right now, I would be like Rainbow Dash, just standing there in complete and utter shock. My brain slowly, like right there, Rainbow.exe has stopped working. My brain will be slowly processing it. And so, the idea that your dream is suddenly right there before you and you're actually doing it, it seems surreal. And so, again, Rainbow's expression just matched perfectly. Oh wow, we finally get to see Rainbow's house again. Oh wow, I love her living room.
Any ponies seen my wing bomb? I don't want to be stiff when I show up at Wonderbolt headquarters. Got it.
Ow.
What happened, Rainbow
Yeah,
Dash?
let's just pack the dragon.
Yes, we must know every detail. Start from
Ow!
wonderful, and you first knew your destiny was to become a Wonderbolt. Well, not much to tell, really. Spitfire told me the Wonderbolts need me to go on tour with them.
That's really great. I know how long you've been waiting for a spot to open up.
Yeah, Firestreak decided to retire and teach full-time. Blacktail Flight School will probably be churning out Wonderbolts with him there. But guess who was at the top of the reserve list? Ooh, I know! Pick me!
So what do you do now, Dashie?
I have to
Dashie.
report to Wonderbolt's headquarters this afternoon. It's only 2 days till tour starts, and I need to learn the routine.
You're leaving already?
How did...
But we barely started your congratulation party. I haven't even thought about your going away party yet.
Pinky, I'm not leaving Ponyville. I just have to train for this show.
I hope everything goes well. Sounds like an awful lot of pressure having to learn everything so quickly.
Yeah, good luck, Dash.
Luck?
Save that for the rest of the team. Now that my awesomeness has finally been recognized?
I have a feeling her
The
cockiness is
Wonderbolts
going to
will
get the
keep
best
up
of her.
or eat my cloud trail.
Every pony knows you're a great flyer, Rainbow Dash, but so are the rest of the Wonderbolts. It might be more challenging than you think.
You're right. I mean, do I show up wearing sunglasses or not? Sunglasses are automatically cool, but
You could show
I
up,
put them on.
you know,
Maybe I
with the
stand on
name
one or
Maverick.
didn't. Team briefings are every morning at 07:20 because there were 20 ponies in the original EUP guard that became the Wonderbolts. Right. And I know you've seen the Academy bunks, but these are the official Wonderbolt
Wow.
barracks, built by Admiral Fairweather himself. Don't forget rule number 1, newbie. Always check both ways before crossing the runway.
I have a feeling something's going to happen.
Sure, but no pony else is here. They will be. And most of the Wonderbolts like to make a flashy entrance, so stay alert. Right.
I just had an image of Frogger go through my mind, only called Dasher or something.
Whoa! Is that General Flash's cap?
Whoa.
And the original crest with the Wonderbolt's motto on it. Altius Volantis. Soaring hard. Wow! I mean, cool. Okay, newbie. We've got a show in 2 days, which means you gotta hustle your haunches to learn this routine. You got 5 minutes to get dressed and get outside to meet the rest of the team. Yes, ma'am. I'll have all the moves down by the end of the day. Let's hope so. We're all expecting you to make quite an impression.
The face.
Looking good. Okay. You're about to take your first flight as an actual Wonderbolt. No pressure.
Okay, that's adorable.
Go up there and knock them off their hooves. Okay, Wonderbolts, get ready to meet your most awesome member ever.
Okay, so ponies can stand in an anthropomorphic-like way. So.
Look out!
Whoa, boy. Ouch! Trash dash. Soaring.
Most awesome entrance by a newbie ever.
Are you okay, Rainbow Dash?
More like Rainbow Crash.
Oof. That old name. Oh gosh. Oh no, it's that all over again.
School, get ready for Rainbow Dash.
Ow. Oh.
Like Rainbow Crash.
Yeah, I get where this is going. The whole first impressions.
Hey, you guys buzzed me on purpose. Not quite. You forgot rule number 1, newbie. Always check both ways before crossing the runway.
Right.
Yeah, well, I was just testing you guys.
I think the best thing to do here would be to admit.
No pony got hurt, and we got a lot to do. So let's forget about this and get flying.
I think the best thing to do
Classic
here
rookie move. Rainbow Crash.
would be to admit it was a
That
mistake.
amazing.
And focus.
Higher, Crash, you're breaking formation.
Check for 9, Crash!
Tire, Crash, get in there. Your name's not Crash.
Oh gosh.
Could have fooled me.
Hey, Crash, I know it was a tough day today, but don't worry, you'll get the hang of it. Tough day? Please. If I can pull off a sonic rainbow, I can learn this routine. I'll have it down cold tomorrow. Probably even come up with a couple of improvements. Rainbow Dash, over here. Yes, ma'am. I'm glad you're still here. Oh, yeah? Did you want some ideas on how to make the show extra awesome? Not quite. I know you've been a reservist for a while, but the Bolts have a few of their own rules you might not know about.
Oof.
Like worst flyer of the day has to clean up the whole compound. Better
Oh.
get to it, Crash.
Ugh.
My name's not Crash.
Oh boy! Oh gosh!
What? Hooray! Rainbow Dash! Our favorite Wonderbolt!
We know you're probably tired, Rainbow Dash, but Pinky wanted to throw you a real party.
Your best day ever party!
Yeah, it was something, all right. Well, we can't wait to hear all about it. And I'd love to tell you, I really would, but I'm pretty beat. You know, from all the excitement of my big day.
Is something wrong, Rainbow Dash?
What could be wrong? I'm finally a Wonderbolt, which means everything has to be totally, perfectly awesome.
Oh no!
Something is wrong. What happened, darling?
I told you it's nothing!
I mean, maybe some of the Wonderbolts started calling me Rainbow Crash.
Oh no! Isn't that the same terrible nickname those bullies in flight school used
Yep.
to call you?
Why would they call
Oh,
me
that was adorable.
Well, I kinda sorta fell into a garbage can.
Aww.
Well, look at the bright side. At least they didn't call you Rainbow Trash.
Shut up.
So you started off on the wrong foot.
I bet every
Oh
new
boy, oh
Wonderbolt
boy,
has
oh
a
boy, I
tough
feel
first
bad
day.
because I kind of said that.
What you need is to find a positive way to stand out. As soon as you're known for something else, that nasty old nickname will be forgotten.
Rary's right.
Maverick?
Why don't you think of the Wonderbolts like us? We're a team, but we all stand out in different ways.
That's it!
I'm gonna stand out in a different way, just
Uh.
like you guys. Goodbye, Rainbow Crash. Hello, Captain Awesome.
Oh no. Ooh, I love that lighting effect. It's beautiful.
Good morning, everybody. Who's ready for a fantastic
Oh,
day?
shoot me.
I know I am. I just couldn't be more excited for the big show tomorrow. Are you guys excited? I'm excited. Actually, I'm always excited. Some ponies even call me Dynamic Dash because I'm so full of energy all the time.
Wonderbolts don't get excited, Crash. You gotta keep a level head to fly the way we do.
Well, of course I'm no diet, but the truth
Oh,
of the matter
gosh.
is you should be excited. It's the dream of near every little Pegasus pony to grow up and fly with the Wonderbolts. And here you all are doing it.
So are you.
True.
Go ahead and call me Forthright Billy if you
Oh
want,
my
but
gosh.
she yucks.
Ashley
I
had.
like to tell her
I
what
wonder
it
how
is.
this was.
And I believe a pony
She
ought to
voices both
appreciate
characters
hard
anyway,
work
so
paying off
to.
like this,
Oh gosh,
because
I wonder
being
if
a
she.
Wonderbolt is something special.
We know.
You know, I was just reading about how dihedral wing angles can help increase stability in banking turns. It made me think that pre-flight checklists could really help increase our efficiency. So I went ahead and made them for every pony. I'm always finding so much interesting information in books. In fact, a lot of ponies call me Reading Rainbow. Newbie, and we already have checklists. Now get off the runway.
What?
I'm sorry. I was just trying to help because I care about all
Oh,
of the
gosh.
Wonderbolts oh so much. Yes, sirree. Just call me Care Mare.
That's a Care Bear reference, isn't it?
But if you're busy now, I can just come back later. Or,
Um,
you know,
Rainbow?
not at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just be yourself. Oh no.
I must tell you how much I just love these uniforms. Why, ever since I was a foal, I've admired the mixture of bold lines and classic contours. They don't call me Rainbow Fash for nothing. The fash is for fashion. Crash! I'm not sure why you're acting like this, but you need to stop. I was just, you know, trying to show every pony all the awesome ways I can contribute to the boats. I know you're excited to find your place on the team, but just focus on the routine for now, okay? Yes, ma'am. Maybe this will help motivate you.
Whoa!
Crash? Couldn't you just put my regular name on it?
That's not how it works around here. We all have our nicknames on our jackets. Right, Clipper?
Clipper?
Right, boss!
Clipper.
Now it's official. Welcome to the Wonderbolts, Crash.
I don't come up with something unforgettable to add to the routine, I'm gonna be Rainbow Crash for the rest of my life.
I really think she's trying too hard here. She's trying too hard to impress, and it's
I know.
usually always backfires whenever that happens.
I can't wait to see
Okay, it almost always backfires.
as an honest-to-goodness Wonderbolt.
She needs to just focus and do her own thing.
We should all remember to be extra supportive for Rainbow Dash too. Excellent
Jeez.
point. It's simply dreadful that she's had such a rough start after finally achieving her dream. Rainbow Dash is a pretty resilient pony. I'm sure she's shaken off her tough first day and turned it around by now.
No.
You know. Hey, Dash.
Uh,
Oh, perfect. Hey, can I borrow Scootaloo? Me? What for?
Oh,
we're just gonna launch you off a balcony,
Figured the
you know.
president of the Rainbow Dash fan club was the right pony for the job.
I thought the Wonderbolt
Rainbow
reserves were here
Factory.
to help.
Oh, yeah, they're all busy doing official reserve stuff. But don't worry, with Scootaloo's help, everything's gonna be awesome. Better than awesome.
Does that mean practice went well yesterday? Gotta go. What are we doing up here, Rainbow Dash?
I just need a small favor from you that's really gonna make this show something special. Now, the Wonderbolts are gonna fly over this ridge right before the finale of the show. I'll fly by last, and when I signal you, you zip up the ramp on your scooter and kick the storm cloud into my path. What? That kick will shoot off a lightning bolt right behind me, making me look totally awesome. And then I'll do some incredible Rainbow Dash flying with it to create the coolest, show-stoppingest, lightning-tastic light show any pony
Rainbow?
has ever seen.
there.
Are you sure about this?
This is not a moment to try improvising and try doing stunts.
And no pony will ever call me Rainbow Crash after this. Oh,
I have a
be ready
very,
for
very
me,
bad
okay,
feeling about
Scootaloo?
this.
Okay.
Some ponies going to hurt. Hey, Bonbon! And Brave Punch. This is going to end badly.
I hope Spike and Backfire are done getting their snacks, or they're gonna miss Rainbow Dash. Oh, don't worry, Fluttershy. Nothing would keep Pinkie Pie from missing this.
Except maybe cotton candy.
I have a very, very bad feeling about this.
1 second. Just a little bit bigger, please. But hurry! Bigger!
I can only imagine how Pinkie's saying that's going to be used on Derpy Brew. I love the shading effect right there.
That was amazing. She's doing great. Bigger!
Again, I can only imagine.
I hope this works.
It won't. She should have stuck with the routine. Oh boy! Ah! So that's what a pony skeleton
Hope I'm
looks
not
like.
too late.
Really? Look! At least it was a cushion landing.
That was amazing!
Well,
Way to go, Rainbow Crash.
You gonna tell us what just happened, newbie?
I'm so sorry.
I should hope so. You changed the routine without consulting me and put other ponies at risk. I've drummed flyers out of the bolts for less.
I know. And I'm ready for whatever punishment you want. You guys were right to call me Rainbow Crash. I've always been a standout flyer, but since I joined the Wonderbolts, I've only stood out for making mistakes. It's been my dream my whole life, but I guess maybe I'm not Wonderbolt material after all.
Are you serious? You're the most talented flyer we've ever had.
And you've saved all of Equestria like a dozen times. Of course you're supposed to be a Wonderbolt. We've been waiting for a spot to open up ever since you joined the reserves.
You guys
Seriously?
also called me Rainbow Crash.
Yeah, so? My nickname's Clipper. You know why they call me that?
'Cause you're as fast as a ship?
Because I clipped my wing on a flagpole as I was landing on my first day.
oh.
Huh.
Flat flip. My first day, I misjudged my landing and came down right on Spitfire's hoof.
Oh, God!
Easy. Slowpoke.
Hoof and mouth. You don't want to know what they call me.
Whoa, that is so much worse than Crash.
Right?
So, does this mean I'm still on the team?
So it's just a name you roll
Think you
with.
can be part of this team and not constantly try to showboat?
I promise. I spent my whole life trying to be a standout flyer, but now that I'm a Wonderbolt, it's time to be okay with fitting in.
Good. Because I really didn't want to miss the chance to tease you for years about this catastrophe. I mean, that crash was epic! But you're on probation for a month. Got a problem with that?
No, ma'am. Okay, I love that scene.
Hey, Rainbow Dash. We just wanted to check on you. Are you doing okay?
I'm doing great, thanks. Sure you don't need any help?
Nah, this mess is my responsibility, and I've got to clean it up myself. And after this, Spitfire's got me cleaning the Wonderbolt's compound for the next month.
So, why are you in such a good mood?
Duh! Because I'm a Wonderbolt!
Oh, man! It's finally happened. Okay. Okay, wow, there's so much to go back over with this episode. There's so much to go back over with this episode, so let's get on with the review. Okay, there is a lot to go over with this episode. First off, the first thing that I want to say is it's finally happened. Ever since Season 1, whenever Rainbow Dash was introduced, we found out that she wanted to be a Wonderbolt. Pardon me. And that it was her dream. Since then, Rainbow has dreamt of being in the Wonderbolts. She's made mentions. They have been her idol. And then in the other season, Season 4 I think it was, Rainbow gets the opportunity to join the Wonderbolts as a trainee. And she gets that opportunity. And she takes that opportunity. And that was whenever Rainbow first that was a really good episode there. I can't remember the name of the episode right off the bat, but it was the episode where it actually showed the Wonderbolt Flight Academy for the first time, and that was a really good episode. That was a really good episode because it showed Spitfire as the drill instructor, and it showed Rainbow more trying to fit in. And we haven't really seen very much with that until now. And Rainbow finally is now a Wonderbolt. I mean, it's just kind of... It's shocking, honestly. And I know some people could probably say that considering the build-up to it, that Rainbow becoming a Wonderbolt kind of felt a bit lackluster. You know, I know some people probably thought there would be like a big epic celebration and everything. But to be completely honest, while I can easily understand that some people might feel that that the climax to this, that the build-up was too big, and the climax was not exactly of expectations. Well, at the same time, I can agree with that. At the same time, I'm happy with how that they did it, because because it's more like real life. Not everything, like a big build-up. Not everything is going to have a big climactic ending. It's not going to be like that. Sometimes it's more calm. It's more serene, and it's more toned down. And yet, there's still that moment where you're just happy. And so I am glad that they did it the way that they did it. I am glad that it would have been cool to have seen some sort of party or something, them having for Rainbow or something, welcoming her into the Wonderbolts. But, like I said, at the same time, I'm glad that they did it the way that they did it, because it's more like real life. And like I said, not everything has a big climactic ending. Some things are more toned down, more calm. And so I am really glad that they did it the way that they did it. And it's also really cool, the idea that Rainbow is finally a Wonderbolt. And she finally accomplished her dream. And it was always something. Some people, I've seen, I'm pretty sure that I've read, fan art before, and I've read fan art. I've totally read fan art. I've read fan fictions before. I've viewed fan art. And some people have the notion, some people think, well, what do you do if you manage to accomplish your goal? What do you do? And some people have the mentality, I've read this before, that some people have the mentality that if they don't have a dream, if they don't always have a goal, then they have nothing to strive for. And if they finally accomplish that goal, then they have to set a new goal for themselves, so that way there will always be a goal. And for me, if my goal was met, my new goal, would not be to meet that goal, but to be the best at that I could possibly be. And Rainbow, she accomplished her goal. She finally accomplished her dream. She is a Wonderbolt. And it's really mind-blowing, honestly, that it finally happened. It took 6 seasons, 6 years for it to happen, but it finally happened. She is a Wonderbolt. And so, I'm really happy that they finally did that. It's just like whenever the CMCs got their cutie marks. It's showing that development. It's showing the story progression, the character development. It's not lingering on something for forever and never seeing it through to completion. It's actually showing that progression, and it's showing it over time. It's not happening all at once. It's more realistic in the way that they've done it. To have the characters just a few episodes say, I want to do this, and then suddenly, boom, they do it. It's too simple. It's too easy. And like with anything in real life, it takes time. And so I'm really glad that they expanded it, that they droned it out for as long as they did, because it left more realism. It made it feel more authentic, more like real life. And so I'm really glad that Rainbow is finally a Wonderbolt, and now that she's officially a Wonderbolt, it's anyone's guess what's going to happen later on. But she is finally a Wonderbolt now, and that is really, really cool. And there's other things to discuss here. Like I said, whenever Spitfire finally tells Rainbow that she is a Wonderbolt, and Rainbow just stands there at first with, just completely blank. I would be like that as well, myself, and so it's realistic in that sense. Some people would immediately be jumping up and down for joy. Other people would just be, like myself, I'd just be standing there in complete and utter shock, my brain trying to process the whole thing. Is this real? Am I dreaming? If I am, please don't wake me up. And then she finally begins to smile as it really hits her. And so again, that is like me. That's how I would react in real life to something like that. And I know other people can as well. And so that was very much realistic. And then we had the callback to the past, and it was a future thing where Rainbow accidentally she crashed, and so that became her name, Rainbow Crash. And as such, she, the old memories of the past, of her trying to throw away the old name, of her trying to, I mean, she had made it through the past. She had threw away that old name, and she thought she was rid of it. But then that name came back. And it brought those painful memories back. And so she wanted to try to prove that she was more than that. And there's different perspectives that one can look at this. And every single perspective is realistic. From Rainbow's perspective, excuse me. From Rainbow's perspective, she felt that she had been made fun of, which she had been, but she felt like she was a laughingstock. And she had the memories come back to her. She had the painful memories of her past come back to her, haunting her. And so she didn't want to feel that again. She didn't want that to be something that she would have to deal with her entire life. And so she wanted to prove that she was more than that. She wanted to try to erase the memories of the past, and in an attempt try to erase everybody else's memories, and try to prove that she was more than that. And that is something that a lot of people can relate to. Something happens in the past, and you unintentionally you become known for it, and it's painful for you. Other people, they might not think it's so painful, but for you, it's painful and it's hurtful. And so whenever something comes up later on, you want to try to forget about it. You want to try to forget about it. And so it's very much understandable that Rainbow wanted to try to make a better impression. That she wanted to try to do better. She wanted to try to make a better impression. And it goes with that old saying, first impressions are everything. And it's exactly true. You meet anybody in real life, the first impression that you make on them is the impression that they will usually remember. And sometimes you can make a bad first impression, and it's a lingering effect. And so Rainbow, she didn't want to have a bad first impression. She wanted to do better. She didn't want to be known as a klutz, as a ditz. She wanted to prove that she was good and that she could do better. And so she started working extra hard to try to prove, and in that sense, she was losing focus. And that applies very much to real life. Whenever you begin to try to focus more on trying to prove your worth, you begin to lose focus on what you're doing, and it begins to show. You begin to lose focus, and you begin to lose focus on yourself, on who you are. And it never hardly ever works out whenever you begin to do that. And so again, this was a very much realistic scenario. Rainbow, she began to lose focus, and she tried to act like others. She tried to impress the others, and in that sense, she was becoming more of a nuisance instead of just focusing on the task at hand. And so again, it was very much a relatable scenario. And so, and then it was about the names. Some people are given a nickname, like in the military, things like that, the Army, the Air Force, and Navy, even in real life outside of any sort of military or any sort of anything like that. Some people are given a nickname. Sometimes it's a nickname, that you like, sometimes it isn't. And Rainbow, she had no idea that the others had nicknames as well. And she felt more comfortable whenever she realized that everybody else had nicknames. And in a sense, it served as a mark. Not so much a bad mark, but it served as a mark of who you didn't want to be. It was a mark to show what could happen. And it was a reminder that you wanted to do better. You rolled with the name because it served as a reminder for something that you didn't want to become, something that you did not want to happen again. And so you did better. You worked better, you focused more, and you worked harder to do better, so that you would never be known for that again. And she began to laugh about it. It became a name that she began to roll with. That very much applies to real life as well. As sometimes something that you have from the past, you remember it. It might not be a fond memory, but you remember it. And you keep that with you because you know that you can do better. You remember it. You remember what happened. And you want to do better. And you know you can do better. And so you focus. And that's exactly what happened with Rainbow here at the end. She began to roll with the name. And she realized that the others had similar names as well for the mistakes that they made. They were okay with it. Well, okay, they might not have been completely okay with it, but they rolled with it anyway. And it became their call sign, their name. And so Rainbow began to roll with it. And in a sense, it's a bit of irony that the old name that she once threw away, that she was once ashamed of, that she hated, now became the name that she had to roll with. And it's a process. I mean, she's not going to fully accept it. Nobody would. No, in reality, nobody would be able to just fully accept it and say, okay, that's it. Let's go with it. Nobody would be able to do that. It would be a process. But like I said, it's something that you work with. And again, I think it shows more character depth and realism that they went to that degree with this. And so, again, I'm really glad that they did that, because not just with Rainbow, but with the other characters as well. And that they revealed the other Wonderbolts call signs or nicknames as well, because it showed more depth and originality. Well, more depth and more characterization with each and every character. It gave more of a deeper perception to each of those characters, and it showed more of a sense of realism with that. And so again, I'm really happy that they did that. It really worked great for that. And then Rainbow she still had the whole fangirl thing, which, to be completely honest, again, is very much realistic, because whenever you finally accomplish your dream and you're finally there, that'd be like if I ever had the chance to, I know that will never ever happen, but if I was ever given an opportunity to be like at a panel with Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, and PewDiePie, and other YouTubers, I would be exactly like Rainbow. I would be like having a sort of fangasm. I would be just completely shocked. And I know I would do something stupid, but at the same time, I would be trying to let the knowledge that I had flow. I would not want to act like a complete moron. I would just try to be myself, even if myself was completely stupid, and completely insane. But I would want to still try to be myself, and it's definitely one of those situations where you want to be knowledgeable of something. And so Rainbow, she had a lot of knowledge about the Wonderbolts, and she let that out, and she allowed most of her excitement to show. And I think that it was a good thing, because it showed. She was a bit of afraid a couple of times to let that full excitement out, just be more calm, like cool. But she was completely excited, and again, it's realistic, because anybody in that situation would be. And so I'm really glad again that they did that, because it was very much realistic. And then Rainbow, and so again, the story is really, really great. And I really love the story, how that the story played out. I really loved the story. It was realistic, and I think it really fit. I really, really loved the episode for the story and many other things which I will discuss here. But story-wise, I really loved it. It was realistic, and I think it really fit every single one of the characters. And again, there was realistic nature, realistic tones with every single character here, and I really love actually how that they played that out. Now, another thing is, I know some people probably might not be too fond with how Spitfire's character was portrayed here. But to be completely honest, I think that her character was very much believable, because she is the captain of the Wonderbolts, and she has a reputation that she has to live up to. And she can't, anybody in that position, you cannot let other people, other rookies, come in and show up something like that. I mean, the Wonderbolts is an age-old thing, and she is the captain of the Wonderbolts. That is a huge responsibility and something that she has to live up to. And so she has a reputation to uphold, not just for herself, not just for her position, but for the Wonderbolts as a whole. Every single Wonderbolt has a reputation. That's a burden that comes with being in that role. It's a burden that one has to bear. And Rainbow was slowly working into that particular burden, finding out about that. And it's a reputation that one has to maintain, one has to uphold. And it's, in a sense, it's kind of I would compare that to like being in a fandom. And you have a sense in a fandom, and I'm not just, this applies to the MLP fandom, this applies to the Disney fandom, this applies to any fandom. Whenever you enter a fandom, you have a reputation, you have a responsibility to uphold for being a good part of that community. There are other people who completely shirk that and give the fandoms a bad name. We've seen that all too many times. But there are those that are good within that community, within that fandom, and they are in a sense like Little Pip, the light bringers. They are the more responsible ones that try to maintain the order and balance within that, and they are the more calm ones that people most likely would turn to whenever somebody said, "What's it like for this show? What do you think about it?" They're the ones that are more able to give a more rationalized, a more logical, and more calm discussion about it. And so it's like that with with pretty much anything. It's a responsibility that has to be upheld. And Spitfire has been the captain for it hasn't ever been discussed, but I would surmise that she has been for a while. And so she has that reputation, she has that position to uphold. And so she has to, the Wonderbolts, that's a dangerous thing. That's exactly, that's the equivalent of the real life Blue Angels. You put that position into anything, like law enforcement, like law enforcement, military, firefighting, doctors. Not anybody. A person cannot just walk in off the street and say, "I can do this." They have to be trained, and they have to be able to focus on the task at hand to be able to make sure that they do it, because there is lives. This isn't just anything. This isn't just some little thing. We're talking about things that could jeopardize the lives not just of yourself but others. And so one has to focus in that. Now, being a pilot, for example, in the Blue Angels, without focus, that's going to be a life lost or more. That's going to cause a major, it could be devastation on a grand scale. And so that's exactly what Spitfire has to make sure, is that every single recruit is capable and focused enough to be able to handle it, to be able to do that. And so she sees potential in Rainbow, and so there are times where she has to be strict with her. And parents also do that with their children. They see potential in them, and so they have to be strict with them sometimes. Spitfire has to be strict with Rainbow at times, because she knows that she has potential, and she wants Rainbow to be able to unlock that, and she wants to be able to help her to unlock that potential, to be able to be the Wonderbolt that she knows that Rainbow can be, that she knows where Rainbow wants to be. And so for me, I really believe that Spitfire has a highly believable character here. And, if you analyze it, there's a lot of responsibility that she has to maintain, that she has to deal with. And so I really love how that they handled it. She handled it in a very strict manner, yet at the same time there was moments where her character kind of let loose and was just kind of easygoing. And I love that. I love that they also did that, and they didn't have her be completely stuck up. I love that they didn't have her be that way, because I love her character the way that her character is, and I love her character even more now that they showed her to be kind of easygoing and just kind of roll with a few things from time to time. And she was still more calm and laid back, and she handled, I mean, basically, to be completely blunt, she dealt with a lot of crap. And so, again, I love the way that her character handled things. I love the way that they wrote that her character handled things. I just really, I mean, to be honest, I was honestly afraid whenever I watched this episode that they would paint her character in a more negative light. But to be honest, I honestly have more respect for her character now and like her character more after watching this episode. And so, again, I'm really happy that things turned out the way that they did, and that they wrote her character the way that they did. It showed, I mean, her character still showed a lot more, I mean, there was a lot more growth for her character, and I think there's still a lot more room for growth, which I'm sure the fandom will be able to explore in fan fiction and fan art as well. And so, again, there's a lot more for her character, and I love the way that they did that. And then we also got to see more of some of the other Wonderbolts. And again, none of them appeared to be completely stuck up. They were more laid back, and it was just like, I mean, it's basically the equivalent of the military, the Air Force, the Marines, the Navy. You know, you look out for each other. You look out for each other. You're not just one person, you're a big group. You are a community. You are a family. You know, these are people that are going to watch your back. You have to watch their back as well. I mean, you have to be able to rely on and count on each other to be able to make it through the end of the day. And so I'm really glad that they portrayed it like that, because it felt more natural. It felt more realistic with that nature and tone. And so I really love that concept. And there's many other things to point out as well. There were many adorable moments with Rainbow Dash as well. And there were a few moments that, you know, I mean, me myself as a Rainbow and Soren shipper, you know, there was a few little moments where you could sort of work with that. And I know that the fan art and fan fiction will pick up with that. But again, you know, that's just me. And again, I really loved how that they did Spitfire. And again, there was many elements to Top Gun here that I could see, and there were many moments right here with like the lighting effects. And there was one little moment here, before I forget about this, whenever Rainbow starts to close her locker, and there's a picture of her friends. That was a really wonderful little thing, that Rainbow had the picture of her friends there. And some people probably wouldn't imagine that that would be within her character, but I really love that they put that there, because it shows that she really cares about her friends. And she really, I mean, that she really cares about her friends, and that she really cares about and relies on the support of her friends, and that she supports her friends as well, and that she really cares about them. I really love that they did that they added that. It was a small little subtle thing, but it's one of those things that speaks volumes. And then there was many other wonderful little adorable scenes right here with the characters, and you know, I made the mention about the Rainbow Factory. And then we got to see more of the Wonderbolts perform, and the Wonderbolts are more of a aerial flight team, very much like the Blue Angels. They're not any exactly sort of military or naval or like Marine or Air Force branch, basically trained in the concept of actual defense or combat. We did see once earlier them actually fighting, but we haven't really, at least not to my recollection. There might have been, but I can't really recall any other direct moments where they did provide any sort of combat. It was more of like for aerial show, but there's still a lot of responsibility, like I said before, that has to go into that. It's not just anything that can be done. I mean, me myself, if I said, well, I want to be one of the Blue Angels, I couldn't just expect, you know, to walk onto any sort of field and for them to say, okay, here's your plane, or here's your F-14. It wouldn't work like that. There was a lot of training and everything, a lot of focus that would have to be done, and I would expect that. I would want them to train me in the way that I would be able to do great and be able to handle it the way that I needed to. And so, again, there was a lot for that. And the moment whenever Rainbow here, like everything that was weighing in on her, and she said that maybe she's not cut out to be a Wonderbolt. I really liked how that they did that as well, because again, Rainbow, like the normal brash, so I guess one could say self-centered concept with her character, she threw that away. Like all the barriers were down, and she was accepting the responsibility. She told Spitfire, and she was okay with whatever punishment that Spitfire was going to dish out on her. She was accepting that she had made many mistakes, and she was accepting that responsibility. She was accepting that, and again, I really like that they did that because it showed, again, more depth for her character. It painted her as more of a natural and realistic character, and I mean that she was willing to accept the punishment because of her actions. And I also really like how that Spitfire handled the situation. She didn't just tell Rainbow, we're going, hand me your badge. You're not going to be a Wonderbolt, or you need to train more. She, like she said right there, she's thrown Wonderbolts out. I mean, trainees out for less than what Rainbow had done. And she wanted to hear an explanation. And it goes back to what I said, that Spitfire knows that Rainbow has potential. She's seen it before. And she knows that Rainbow is capable of doing that. But she just wanted to try to help, and she didn't want, she doesn't want to lead Rainbow in like a mother or a sister. She basically just wants to point her in the direction and let Rainbow do it herself, which is a really natural and realistic tone. I mean, in that Rainbow finds herself. She works in her own she works in her own comfort zone, her own element, but she is able, Spitfire knows that Rainbow is capable of great things, and she's not going to just lead her to it. She's going to just point her and let Rainbow do the work herself. And again, I like how that they did that with Spitfire's character. And again, I like how, like I said, that how she opened up and how she was just like completely okay with it, and how she told Rainbow her nickname, and how, she was just having fun with it. And then again, whenever she told Rainbow, you have probation, I'm putting you on probation, again, it was realistic, it was natural. And again, I like how that, again, I'm also glad that they did that with story, or with the script, that Spitfire does not just let it slide. She has to dish out the punishment because, again, she has a reputation and responsibility as the captain of the Wonderbolt, and so she can't just let that slide. And so again, it's more realistic in that you see her hand or hoof, Rainbow her goggles, and so she's like saying, I'm punishing you, but I'm proud of you. And I'm really glad that they did that way, because again, it's more natural, it's more realistic, and I love how that they did that. And then Rainbow, that little smile, that little crooked smile that she gave right there was adorable. And how that she was able, she was accepting of that, and she was like okay with that. And then at the end, how she was completely okay with the punishment. She was okay with that, and because she was a Wonderbolt. And that goes like with anything. Anything that you begin to do that you love to do. In everything in life that you love to do, there are going to be moments where there's going to be a bad day. There's going to be some bad things within the good things that you want to do. Be it a job or a hobby, like with being on YouTube. With being on YouTube, just as an example, you have to deal with the haters. You have to deal with, you have to deal with the haters. You have to deal with the negative comments. You have to deal with people who don't agree with or hate what you do, who make fun of you for it. You have to deal with that. And it doesn't matter what you do. if it's a job, if it's a hobby. I love building model kits, but it can be frustrating at times whenever a kit doesn't want to cooperate, or you can't find the right part to be able to work on a kit. And so, it can be frustrating, and there, like I said, there can be aggravation from time to time. But it's a choice that you make. And it's something that you have to weigh. You have to weigh the odds, the good and the bad. And if the good completely outweighs the bad, then you know that there's going to be bad. You're going to face bad, but the more you want to do it, the more you're going to be willing to go through those storms, because there's going to be a bright sunny sky at the end of it. You know that the storm isn't going to last forever, and that there's going to be a bright, sunny path beyond that. And so, again, I'm really happy that they did that, and that Rainbow wasn't, like, upset that she got... I mean, she was accepting of her punishment, and she was okay with it, and she was happy because she was a Wonderbolt. She finally got to be a Wonderbolt. And that ending thing at the end right here with this final scene, again, I love that they did that. It just fit. It just worked. And it's that sense of finally. And there's many other things. There's a few other things to make note of here. Again, the visual aesthetics with this episode, like the scenes with Rainbow's house, I love the way that they did her living room design. I loved, and I mean, just how that they did her living room there with that window view, the curtains and everything. It was beautiful. I love that. I mean, I loved how that they did that. It was very artistic. It was very beautiful. And I know Rainbow's house, I mean, where it's cloud-based, I know it's based off of, I believe that it's based off of Greek mythology, which I really have an interest in myself. But I love how that they did it, how that they blended a sort of Greek mythology, the cartoonish style with the characters, and a more modern look. I mean, I love, I mean, like the glass tabletop table, and I mean tables that they have there, the curtains and everything. I just loved it. I mean, there's a lot of beauty in that background, and it shows more of how Rainbow keeps her house. One would probably think, you know, well, she, you know, probably has a bit of junk lying around, but no. She actually keeps her house really clean and really beautiful, I have to say. So I'm really glad that they did that. And then, you know, the statue of the Wonderbolt later on at the door and everything, and then like the big double doors, man. Again, there was a lot of beautiful aesthetics, and then the lighting effect, like during that scene whenever Pinky comes in to Rainbow's house from the outside, and then you see the lighting above. Again, there's a lot of beautiful aesthetics, a lot of beautiful designs going on here. There's a lot of beauty in how that this is designed. And then there's many other scenes with the architectural design, like whenever it shows the Wonderbolt barracks and everything. Again, a lot of beauty, and the shading effects, the lighting effects is absolutely gorgeous. And again, it's one of those things where people, you know, notice little subtle things going on, and I've seen people make mentions before whenever they pointed out just tiny little visualization things, and they're like, I love this show. I love how that they do it. And then we also got to see a moment where both Rainbow and Spitfire were standing on their fort, or standing on the back hooves, and they weren't having any trouble standing up. And so again, it goes with my headcanon that the pony. I mean, my headcanon is that the ponies can stand to fully walk on their hind legs, like any anthropomorphic other character, but you know that it's more natural for them to walk on all fours. And so that's my headcanon anyway. But so again, I like that they did that, and like I said, the other visualization and colorization with how that they did things was just absolutely gorgeous. And so I have to say, this was definitely, I absolutely loved this episode. This is definitely one of my favorite episodes this season. I loved how that they did it, and it was just a really wonderful episode. I loved how that they did the story. I loved how that they did the characters. And there was a lot going on here, and there's probably more that I did not discuss initially that I'm sure other reactors was able to point out as well. And but then, you know, that's why there's so many different reactors reacting to these, because everybody is able to offer a different perspective and a different review, and they're able to offer different opinions and perspectives on things. And so that's why I can honestly say, don't just watch me. If you watch me, thank you, but please, there's so many other wonderful reactors out there that does so much better job than I do. Please watch their reaction, listen to their thoughts. They're able to go more in depth than I am. I'm just an idiot. So, but again, I love this episode, and so to everybody that worked on this episode, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Hasbro. Thank you, DHX. Thank you, everybody that worked on this episode. This was a wonderful episode, and I have to say, I really loved it, and I'm really happy that you guys wanted me to watch this episode. And again, thank you to my friend who told me, watch this episode, you're going to like it because Spitfire's in it. So again, thank you again. And hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video that I do. Take care.